I actually want to give you an example. You may love it. A few years ago, during the Occupy Wall Street, I went to interview the occupiers, and one participant in his mid-30s perhaps, and talked to me and said, well, I got a master's degree from NYU. I could not even get a job in Starbucks. I asked him, what's your thesis is about? He said, I wrote about Hispanic gay and lesbian transgender. I said, well, why do you think you're not employed? He said, well, the school taught me useless things. I said, well, in that case, why don't you go protest in the school instead of in front of Wall Street? They may give you a job. And he thought of it and said, you're right. So actually, I'm speaking as a sociologist. 97% of my colleagues left.
Oh,
They
yes.
very rare people like you. And I think you're in poli sci.
I'm not a sociologist.
You're poli sci, I know. And still about this election, and so this election, you think from our conversation we are this American society is realigned, but do you see any hope of the recovery of civic society?
I think there won't be a recovery in the civic society until it is led by a kind of a moral reawakening on the part of the new upper class. And I think the members of the new upper class have to ask themselves, how much do they treasure the American tradition of people being equal in dignity and equal in human worth, being treated as equals in those terms? How much do they treasure the tradition of American civil society? Because there is a lot of residual affection for that. And I want to challenge the new upper class to think about that for a minute and then say to yourself, am I living my life in a way which is going to support that? How about my kids? Am I living a life where my children will grow up to be good Americans in the traditional sense of that term? And when I raise those questions, the good news is that a lot of the members of the new upper class I talk to nod their heads, especially when I talk about their kids. To what extent are their kids being raised in ways that make them ignorant of what America is all about? A lot of them are worried about that. So that's my only hope, that there is some kind of great awakening on the part of the new upper class where they integrate themselves into the life of the nation again. What are the odds of that? Not high.
Well, if you look at how the urban life layout and the houses was it, I actually don't see that happening, honestly.
Well, don't underestimate the degree to which people have options now they didn't have before. I live in a town of 151 people, 60 miles away from Washington, D.C. I write books. I do all of my work in my home office. When I want to have the company of people in Washington, I drive into Washington and have dinner with them. But I'm very happy out there. I'm living in a typical American town. I'm deeply engaged in the life of real America, and I'm also indulging a lot of the tastes and preferences of the new upper class. You can have it all. And what I also try to say to members of the new upper class is, you don't have to live on the Upper East Side of New York, or Georgetown, or in Atherton out in Silicon Valley. You don't have to choose those places to live where you're surrounded by people only like yourselves. You can live in some really nice places with a nice house, a nice car, great friends, but are much more integrated into American life. So the options are there. The question is, will people take those options?
Well, the last question actually, do you think the American manufacturer can recover?
We are looking at a jobs problem within the next couple of decades that is so big that it may be the most important problem facing us. Namely, jobs are going to disappear in huge numbers. Everybody knows about driverless cars and trucks. Something like 4 million people in this country make their living driving cars or trucks. Those jobs are going to go away probably within 10 or 15 years. But it's not just that. vast numbers of white-collar jobs are going to disappear because artificial intelligence is finally living up to its promise after years of underperforming. And a lot of jobs that now pay good salaries to white-collar employees will be replaced by software. So, as if we didn't have enough to worry about, I think we are looking in the future at a prospect for a revolutionary form of job market that we are not ready to deal with.
This is one, thing I always amuses me, because when you talk about a revolutionary situation, I experienced revolution and I studied them. The first victim of the revolution is always the upper class, a member of upper classes.
Of the real revolutionists, members of the upper class.
Yes, and why wouldn't the upper classes take a look at, hey, we are alarmed?
The upper class has a lot to be worried about in the long term, both in terms of the danger that they will be the victims of a revolution, but also dangers in terms of having created a society that bears no resemblance to the America that either they or their parents once loved.
That's the big problem to
Yeah.
worry.